Well, happy 8th of August to everybody. My name is Mel Carmine. For you guys that are new, I don't think I'm going to do a commercial on this one. I said that the last time too, but then we ended up doing the commercial, the intro, the outro, etc. But go to Dear Mr. President, dearmrpresident.net. Watch the movie. You're all worth hundreds of millions of dollars. We prove it in the movie in spades. Go there, Dear MR President, Dear Mr. President, Show Me the Money, a straw man movie. Okay, the links are down below. Support us, qfs1776.com/shops. All of my social media links are at the top. Do not trust anybody that says, my name is Mel Carmine. I'm here to help you register your XRP with the quantum financial system. That's a scam. It's a scam, okay? Carminesgold.com, carminesgold.com. If you need $50,000 worth of silver or $50 million worth of silver, I could deliver. Okay, gold, silver, okay, directly to your door, or we could store it for you as well. Stayingalive.com, stayingalive.com. You know where it is. It's in Cape Canaveral. Pull the body over, charge the body. And we also are going to be making an announcement soon that we're going to start a junior summit. So Quantum Summit 1776.com is where you will find all the information here in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. I'm still organizing it. We got stuff that is next level. We have our finger on the pulse. We have our finger on longevity. We have our finger on a lot of things. And so let's start. Today, we're going to go to the movies with Mel Carmine, okay? I watch a lot of little short videos, but I don't do it to get a dopamine. I want to learn from people who are smarter than me. And so I don't need to see a girl shake her ass and her tits and whatever, okay? So, but let's start with video number one. Bear with me because Instagram is a little tricky. I don't know why they don't have the volume on when you hit the video. It's a little weird, but we'll make it work one way or the other. Okay, so let's share screen, sound. Here we go. Okay. Let me move this here somewhere else. There we go. And
show families getting separated, children being deported by ICE.
From the beginning.
One day?
No.
Why?
Women shouldn't be in politics.
Would you like to see a woman president one day?
No.
Why?
Women shouldn't be in politics because it weaponizes our maternal instinct against us. So what do they do to women? Well, how do they get so many women to vote left wing? They use things like abortion. If we're talking about illegal immigration and ICE, what do all the photos and videos show? Families getting separated, children being deported by ICE. So women see that and they're like, oh no, the poor child, the families, they're getting separated. That's that maternal instinct. So then they're going to vote Democrat because they think, oh, well, they're going to keep the children here and not separate the families. That's why women should not be in politics.
Just for the sole reason of emotionally driven messaging.
Yeah.
That's that easy to manipulate women?
It is that easy. Take Mamdani, for example, okay? 82% of voters that voted for Mamdani, who refuses to condemn Sharia law, by the way, it's 82% of women. And I'm sure those women would identify as feminist. But you're voting for someone who refuses to condemn Sharia law, which is very anti-feminist.
Well, they don't know what Sharia law is.
No, they don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Not everyone should just be able to vote.
Why do you understand this and other women don't?
I don't have the ego of a lot of these women to say that we should all be equal. I don't feel entitled to vote simply because I was born in America. I don't feel entitled to vote just because I feel like I should be equal to everyone.
Would you like to see?
Now, I am not a male chauvinist, but I tend to agree with her. I think women should stay the hell out of politics. And I agree with her vision and her views. She is absolutely spot on. So let's go to the next one. Oh, by the way, every time I post real truth on x.com, they roll me back. They hate videos like this because they are part of the communist agenda. They hired a new guy for the algorithms. I don't know who this new guy is, but I did whatchamacallit. I'm going to share this video here with you in a second. I did share that video here, and the minute I did it, I watched it myself in real time roll me back over 3,500 subscribers, literally like that. I've sent in about 7 or 8 emails. They don't even bother to answer. So X.com is now officially communist. Okay. So here we go. Let's reload this. Let's get the volume up and let's watch this guy. This guy's awesome.
Black people out there, but there is no white privilege. We just have, I hate to break it to you black people out there, but there is no white privilege. We just have ambition, and the Democrat Party has sucked it all out of you. They have you dependent on EBT, food. They keep you uneducated to where you don't even speak proper English, because if you did, you'd sound white, and you can't have that now, can you? They convince you once you get $10,000 to blow it all on a shiny new ride just so you can maybe look like you have some money, when obviously you don't. You really think it's an accident that in Democrat states they let you steal up to $1,000 and get away with it? You know that they're directing it for you guys to steal, not the white man. They're going to make it to the point where you're not going to be allowed in any stores, nor will any store chain or anything worth a damn be in your neighborhoods. They've got you so comfortable with being very violently racist against white people that it's only a matter of time before we rise up against you and you're going to get yourself segregated for your own doing. It's not white privilege, it's the dumbing down of your society brought to you by the Democrats. All of the TV, all of the culture, either you're an entertainer, a sports player, or you entertain the white people in one way or another, or you're not on the plantation and you're a coon. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you try to speak properly, they get onto your ass about it, not the white people, fellow black people.
Well, I disagree with him on one thing. It's not only the black people who are uneducated. There's plenty of white people who are uneducated who will go into a store in California and steal $1,000 worth of merchandise because they know they can get away with it. There's plenty of uneducated white trailer trash in America. And unfortunately, it's not just the black people. I'm not sticking up for the black people. Uneducated, it doesn't matter whether you're black, brown, yellow, blue, you're uneducated. Okay. If you speak like you're in the ghetto, then we treat you like ghetto. So let's get rid of this one. Let's go to the next one. This guy's awesome. This guy is awesome.
In Spain, they just legalized residence of 500,000 illegal aliens. In France, they throw grenades into hair salons in a broad daylight. In Germany, not a single day goes by without someone being murdered with a knife. In Sweden, for example, you have bomb attack every other day. I can continue, but you just don't care. Those are not real problems for the European left-wing politicians. No, you are going to solve the situation in Minnesota. You are seriously discussing here the rule of law in the United States and criticizing American government for deporting illegal aliens, for deporting criminals out of their territory in the same time when Western European cities are gradually turning into war zones. We should do exactly the same. We should deport them from Europe and not legalize their stay. We should listen to them and not what you are proposing to all of us. Everybody can see now you are enemies of Europe. You hate Europe, you hate our nations, and you want to destroy the future for our children. We should stop you, we should defeat you politically if we want to survive. Otherwise, it will be the end of Europe.
I don't know who that guy is. I'm sure he's European based on his accent. And whatever country he's from, you guys could put it down in the comments below. Vote that guy in. That's your next Donald Trump. Okay? Vote that guy in. Let's go to the next video. And here we go. Let me reload.
Was a massive scam designed to make happy women single. Social media was a massive scam designed to make happy women single and lonely. And only the elite know the real truth. Here's everything they're not telling you. A woman in a perfectly good marriage scrolls Instagram. She sees influencers living the dream. Luxury trips, designer bags, private jets. Suddenly her normal, stable life feels like trash. Her husband becomes not enough. She starts thinking she chose the wrong man. Next thing you know, she's filing for a divorce. Little does she know, most of those influencers are getting paid $100,000 to play escort for 3 days. Nothing you see on social media is real. Their feed is heavily curated, their life is heavily financed, their happiness is fake. But women keep comparing their real life to someone else's highlight reel. This wasn't an accident. Social media was engineered to create constant comparison, insecurity, and materialism. It weaponizes envy to destroy happiness. It turns happy wives into dissatisfied consumers who chase an illusion that doesn't exist. Today we have millions of women who are getting brainwashed into thinking their good man is the problem, instead of the algorithm feeding them lies 24/7. The elite are using social media algorithms as one of of the most effective tools ever created to break families and keep women lonely and chasing validation. What you have to do is stop comparing your real life to an influencer's fake life. Delete the poison and value what you actually have. I built an Instagram page to 1 million followers in 3 weeks and made over 200K in 1 month, all using AI. Follow if you want to learn exactly how I did it.
Do you understand? Do you understand? Do you overstand? Do you get it? There is an agenda to break you and your wife up, you and your fiance up, because they think that there's greener grass on the other side of the fence. This is an agenda to divide every marriage, to break up every family. They're on a mission, folks. We're in a war. This is a war. Get it through your heads. That's why we're going to launch Tube 1776, come hell over hot water. Now, this is my favorite guy of all time. I love Andrew Tate. You know why? Because he's got balls. He's a real man, okay? He's here to cancel their cancel culture. Let me repeat that. He's here to cancel their cancel culture. He's here to make your boys into men again. You better listen to this guy. I'm thinking about going down there on the 13th. There's going to be a big rally in Miami to protest, the illegal incarceration of Christian and Andrew, and I believe it's illegal as fuck. But anyway, let's reload here, all right, and let's get it from the beginning because it's worth it. Okay.
Trapped in a web as a when you're trapped in a web as a fly, there's two spiders. One's the government and the others are lawyers. And it's starting to get really expensive to fight against girl A. I'm like, she's some little psychotic liar. Why is this so expensive? And they said she has 11 lawyers. Her entire legal defense is being funded by a USAID funded NGO. 3 days before she contacted Tristan and asked to come to Miami, she was paid $30,000 by the NGO. She went to Romania for 5 days, made a false accusation and vanished. The Romanian state then, at the behest of the British, used corruption to completely fucking destroy our lives. We somehow get out and in an American court bring girl A to court, and the NGO gets 11 of the best lawyers in the world, $10 million deep in legal fees, trying to stop the case going forward and get it thrown out so she doesn't get to pose on a stand on TV and prove this whole thing from the start was a setup. And all of it happened because they know that men are the enemy to what they're doing to the world. So me saying go to the gym, stick up for yourself, get a Bugatti, be a man, considered an act of terror by the UK government doesn't even make any fucking sense. When you're
only thing I disagree with is don't get a Bugatti. You don't need a Bugatti. You can get a freaking, a Land Rover. You can get a freaking Toyota. You can get a regular car. It will get you from point A to point B. Maybe a little slower. If we're going to do something, Mr. Andrew Tate, I would rather see him go to places like Dulce in New Mexico and Area 51, S4, and Wright-Patterson and say, hey, we want those 26,000 patents. And they're not 6,000, they're 26,000 patents. You would be confused. Let me stop sharing this and let me go ahead and, yeah, there you go. So you would be confused as to which energy device you want to run your house free of charge, where you'd make that $1,800 a month bill. They got you on a treadmill, folks. They get you on a treadmill, okay? And they think if you can run a little faster, you're going to get to the carrot, and you will not. It's all an illusion. You live on this planet. Somebody said you got to pay us for energy, which they're harnessing free of charge. We know that. Okay. You got to pay us to breathe air. Okay. And they're poisoning the air, by the way, with the chemtrails. Okay. You got to pay us for food. You got to pay us for the water that comes to your house. You got to pay us for everything. You weren't asked to be born on this planet. Yet as soon as you come here, you're already in debt to the system. Let's continue. These are awesome. This one is really, you're going to love this one, guys. Stay tuned. Okay, here we go.
Biden hands out two preemptive pardons The first I get, Hunter Biden. Your son smokes crack. Blood protects blood. Ugly, nepotistic, but whatever. Hunter can melt his rocks in peace. The second, though, Anthony Fauci, the man you propped up to guide America through the most traumatic stretch of this century. If he committed crimes and you knew, you, the elected leader, had an obligation to charge him yourself, or you admit you never served the people who elected you. And know who this is. At the peak of the chaos, he was doing a poolside photo shoot for In Style. His diaries show him gloating about being the most famous man in the country. People buried their parents over FaceTime, and it was the happiest time of his life. You want to know a tree? Look at its fruit. 6 feet apart. The rule that shuttered your business. And under oath, he admitted, it just sort of appeared. No study. No data. Masks? Don't bother, he says. Then days later, where to? From the man who told you,
I represent science.
Science or marketing? For years, Fauci's NIAID funneled your tax dollars through EcoHealth Alliance into the Wuhan lab, a facility tied to the Chinese military. Say the lab leaked, natural immunity, or the harm lockdowns did to kids, and you get throttled, erased, branded a disinformation spreader. We all lived it. Then the Twitter files exposed it. This censorship didn't come from Silicon Valley, it came from Washington, the White House, the CDC, the FBI, leaning on the platforms, handing over names, choosing what you could see. The disinformation was the information. Doctors who prescribed ivermectin dragged before the medical board. Why? By law, an emergency use vaccine can only be authorized if there's no adequate, approved, and available alternative. So to make billions off the shot, they had to torch every cure that wasn't theirs. So this week before a Senate committee, the man who in 2022 said he had nothing to hide pled the fifth 111 times. So stack it, a showman drunk on his fame, your money in the research that births the pandemic. The truth that was engineered, sold to you as tinfoil. Every citizen who told the truth, silenced by the government, and every cure that threatened the shot, buried. A party that saw it all and brought zero charges. Instead, they reached past their own Justice Department and handed him a pardon. 111 Fifth Amendments is a man protecting himself. A preemptive pardon over 11 years is a government protecting itself. Fauci is the scapegoat, protected just enough that he won't turn state's evidence on the real bosses pulling the strings. Don't settle for this ritual of humiliation. See beyond the curtain. Share, repost, be a part of the resistance.
Well, I do repost, and every time I repost on X, you know what they do? They throttle me back. They just took about 10, 12 people. For as many videos as I shared today, they took one person away. It's probably about 12 videos, 14 videos, something like that. And so we got yours truly now, Charlie Kirk, talking about Andrew Tate. And I think this is a great video as well. Let's watch this.
Saying anything, Andrew Tate saying anything that 30 years ago would not have been commonplace to say. What Andrew Tate is doing is he's communicating a warning of what happens when society becomes too feminine. Now, if I offend you with this, good, because honestly, it's the truth. We are seeing the American man, porn addicted, lowest testosterone rates in 30 or 40 years, least married, least purpose, most suicidal in history. Why? It's because our society is configured towards collapsing the American man. That's bad for men, it's bad for women, it's bad for our country. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why Andrew Tate has become so unbelievably successful, is he does it in an eloquent and charismatic way with a lot of wisdom. But honestly, Andrew Tate...
Yeah, he's incredibly smart. And they don't like videos like this. I don't even know if YouTube is going to like these videos, but I'm posting this video regardless of the fact, because I live in America. I came here because of the freedom. And now we have let these communist bastards in, and now we're all paying the price, right? So let's go to the next video. Let's exit that one. And Give me a second, guys.
Called. Bro, I'm gonna go straight to jail. I'm gonna go straight to jail. Let's imagine there was a country which was currently committing a genocide. But why are they committing the genocide so publicly? Because this country, let's say, had complete control and blockade of its enemy for a very long time. Why wouldn't they just make them all infertile by poisoning the food supplies? That'd be very easy and nobody would know. Why wouldn't they just poison them slowly? Why wouldn't they just give them all turbo cancer in the medications that they were given? Why wouldn't they just build out a 10-year plan for the population to slowly decrease and eventually just fade away to nothing? There's no reason why they would have to do a big public execution. Why would they be doing this? That doesn't make sense. If the goal is primarily genocide, then the primary objective would be not to get caught. The primary objective would be to commit the genocide without anyone finding out about it so that anybody can talk about it. So if the goal is not genocide, what is the goal? Well, the goal is to be deemed and seen as evil. That is their primary objective. Why use, in this fictional country, why would they use military-grade weaponry on children, which is the height of evil incarnate, unless they wanted the entire world to see them as evil? Well, the answer is simple. By doing evil things, by having the entire world turn on them and seen them as evil, what does it do to their native population? Their native population will sit there and say, well, everyone hates us now, so I guess we got to stick together. Nobody likes us. In fact, now it's more important than ever. If I'm a judge and you get caught, looking at kids online, child porn, I'm going to help you out because they're all against us anyway. We have to love each other because there's so much evil out there against us. So now we have to love each other. We have to unify. So by deliberately going out into the world and attracting evil, they are generating love in another place. This is what's extremely important for you to understand about the way the world actually works. This country is called.
Like him or hate him, okay, I will tell you in no uncertain terms, Andrew Tate is actually one of the good Muslims. You can't say all Muslims are bad. It's like saying all Catholics are bad. All Christians. Is there some scumbag Christians? Yeah, I met a few. Are there a few cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs in the Patriot community? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay. But the reality is he's here to change the reality and the trajectory of where they want this country to go down. And they will stop at nothing. That's why we need, who's going to replace an Andrew Tate? Think about it. Can you think of anybody who's even qualified to replace Andrew and Kristen? Nobody. Maybe Mel Carmine, if I ever get popular enough, but they're stifling me so bad, man. I need my own platform. I'm going to get my own platform. Never fucking bet against me. Don't fucking do it. Let's get to the next one. You want to be in control? You got to own this shit. One second, guys. 1 second. Reload. It's weird. Okay, here we go.
Let me answer the question. What's the Matrix? A concert is the Matrix. Look at these people screaming, jumping up and down, looking at an artist they've already heard the song from 50,000 times, idolizing this person like they're Jesus. And they can't even pay their own bills. That's the Matrix in a nutshell. Those are the people who have been completely psyoped by the slave mind. You're allowing yourself to be distracted with bread and circus garbage as your actual life and the things that matter crumble around you. Let me answer the question.
How can anybody who has truth, logic, and common sense disagree with that? Can anybody? If you disagree with what he just said, put it down below and do me a favor, unsubscribe. Get the fuck out of here. All right?
Yep, right here. Right here. That's how it's done. Now that's how a Parliament Republic does things. They found these 7 grapists, tried them, sentenced them, and then executed them right there in the same dirt where they did it. No 5-year appeals, no taxpayer-funded 3 meals a day, No lawyers arguing about rehabilitation and trauma. No soft parole board nodding along 10 years later. No Democratic judges undercutting the justice system to appease their narrative. Just the crime scene. Same dirt, same treatment. Now that is what I call equality. Meanwhile, over here in the States, we treat child predators like they're just another line item on the budget. We lock them up, house them, feed them. We protect their rights harder than we try to protect the kid they destroyed. Judges let them walk and then act shocked whenever the same shit happens all over again. Well, I'm sick of it. If the only thing standing between a predator and a 12-year-old is due process that takes 3 years and costs 6 figures, then due process is the problem. But
Anyway, let's go to the next one.
Is that the bigger picture is that we are permanently stuck in a double income household system, and they've done that on purpose so that the government is raising your kids, aka daycare and public school systems, so that you can never see your children except for a couple hours a day at the end of the day, or maybe on the weekends if you're not working another part-time job. Women cannot be free, they can't be whimsy, they can't do extra things that they want to do because they're stuck in this slave system. It's ridiculous. The bigger picture is that we are permanently stuck in a double.
It is so true, man. It is so true. Here we go.
Size matters?
Size of your wallet? Yeah.
The money matters.
Yeah. Do you have money?
Based on how I look, do you think, would you presume? No.
I smell it.
You can smell it?
Yeah.
What does money smell like to you?
Good. How do I smell?
I don't smell anything.
The answer is like I have money.
I smell soulless. Like I feel like you like suck the soul out of people.
No, I suck the money out of your wallet.
Look at the women of the world today. Hi, you're 25 years old, you need children. And you're white, and we need white babies. White people are going extinct. I don't care. I like Instagram. I'm a diva. I'm a star. You've achieved nothing in your life. Get over yourself. Where's this arrogance from? It's remarkable. It's disgusting. They don't give a fuck.
Let's keep going, man. If I'm addicted to anything, I'm addicted to smarter people than Mel Carmine. I want to learn. Okay?
Stop listening.
Let me refresh this one. And let's get you from the beginning.
We can literally save all of Western civilization if we stop listening to women. Women support abortion, transgenderism, same-sex marriage, open borders. Women support everything that is destroying our society. Women are breaking up families. They are responsible for 80% of all divorces. I'm not saying that some of those weren't warranted, but if you're responsible for 80% of all divorces, you're a fucking problem. Feminism on top of all the divorces that they're responsible for. Feminism is already a direct attack on the nuclear family. If you don't have good, strong families, man and woman, children, man at the top being the leader, woman follower, and then over the children, you're not going to have a strong country, period. And all these things, Satan is using women, and it's destroying our fucking country. People don't want to hear this, but it's the truth.
How can you argue with that? I mean, look, I can't say all women. I disagree with him on that. But I'd say a lot of women who you parents sent to school, the brainwashing system, the indoctrination camps, are exactly what he just described. And then they go on social media, they see a bunch of prostitutes that are getting paid $45,000 for that weekend because somebody needs to make $1 million when they spend $45,000 to look good with the Bugatti that's rented, with the hooker that's rented, with the champagne. And then all of a sudden, boom, somebody's making money to brainwash your kids, and they're all part of the agenda. Hello, is anybody home? You know, this drives me crazy. We're going to lose this country unless you people stand the fuck up. Let's go.
Who are fuck people you want to say fuck you to?
My enemies are in the shadows, and they've sent these odd faces to the front, like the prosecutor and the guy who tried to take the Portuguese man's cars. I'd be a fool to consider them my enemies. They're just pawns. My enemies are the king and the queen. I don't know who they are. That's why you can't get them. People who are really in charge of the world, we don't know who they are. We don't know who makes these calls. That's why they keep getting away with it. Who is behind Lestrada? Who from the UK Foreign Office typed the letter? Who are the psychologists who told me to kill myself? My enemies are in the shadows. You still would have a temptation in my position to say fuck you to the faces you do know. But I don't really have that temptation because, to be honest with you, I think I've annoyed them more than they've annoyed me. I think I've won. I think they're so frustrated with me. The Daily Telegraph, which printed 3 days ago, Andrew Tate must be extradited urgently. That's not an organic piece from the media. Why would the media be talking about me 4 years later? Imagine thinking you're the big boss and you're like working for the government. You're a spy. You're James Bond working for MI6 and little old Andrew's making a fucking dick out of you. I think I've annoyed them far more than they'll ever annoy me. And I think even if they kill me, it's the same. Even if they kill me, I get to be a hero forever. It's fine. I'm sure dying will suck, but then I'll be dead.
Who are fucked?
Again, how can you argue with that? I can't. I sure as hell can't. Andrew Tate is going to go down as potentially the most popular man that represents real men with real testosterone. They'll be talking about him for the next 10,000 years, just like they will be talking about Donald Trump. Okay? They want this guy out. He's deprogramming and reprogramming your kids. They don't want that. That goes against their agenda. And he's got all the flash and all the bling bling and all that, which is wrong, in my opinion. Like I said, if Andrew would go down, I'll go down with you, Andrew. Okay? You want to go to S4? I will go down on my dime. You don't even have to pay for me. I can afford my way down to S4 and Wright-Patterson and Dulcie. Okay? I want to see the 26,000 patents. I want to see the flying cars that can get me from here to Tokyo, Japan. I got a deal going on right now in Tokyo. Don't you think I would love to just jump in my garage and boom, be there in 22 minutes? No, I got to drive an hour and 20 minutes, an hour and 15 minutes, depending on traffic, to the airport, pay a bunch of tolls, a bunch of wear and tear on my car, pollute the atmosphere with bullshit fuels, park my car in a parking lot, pay $19 a day to park my car. Oh, yeah, we're going to give you a rewards points program. Yeah, it's all bullshit. You understand? So, and then you get on a fucking shuttle, another extension of a Model T Ford, 4 rubber tires, to drive to the airport, which is 7 miles away, get you to your gate, and you jump into a metal object that resembles a fucking bird that's doing 600 miles an hour, and the cushion on the chairs keeps getting thinner and thinner and thinner because the more weight they could reduce on the freaking this bird that looks like it's made out of metal, the more fuel they save at your inconvenience. But yet nobody goes to Wright-Patterson and say, hey, knock on the door and say, I want to see the 26,000 patents. Why don't we get 26,000 men with real balls, cojones, to go to Wright-Patterson and say, we want to see the 26,000 patents. S4, Dulcie. We want our free energy technology. They got stuff that will blow your mind, but it goes against their status quo. If they were to release just a couple of percentage points of what they have hidden on humanity, we would catapult 1,000 years of where we are right now. But they won't do it. They won't do it. Okay, let's go to this one. This one's perfect. This one I agree with 100,000%, and so will you. And so will you. As a matter of fact, let me stop sharing for a second. I want to make sure that we have the sound in there. Yeah, we do. Okay. Share. Here we go.
Guy's woman. This is a rich guy's woman. This is what a broke guy's woman eats. This is what a rich guy woman's eat. This is how a broke guy woman dresses. This is how a rich guy's woman dresses. This is how a broke guy's woman spends money. This is how a rich guy's woman spends money. This is the car a broke guy's woman wants to drive. This is the car that a rich man's woman wants to drive. A broke guy's woman wants to eat dinner like this every night. A rich guy's woman wants to eat dinner like this every night. So this is very simple. A broke guy's woman always wants to spend money to look good, to look rich in front of others. A rich guy's woman does the opposite. She wants to spend your money and invest your money in growth, which will make sure that you're actually rich instead of just looking rich.
I guess I'm a rich guy, you know, because he just described Amber. Okay? You want to know the truth? That's the fact. He just described my wife. We eat at home. We don't eat out anymore. Why would you want to eat out? You're cooking in seed oils, and then you got joint pain. And then you got to come hang out with me at Staying Alive because you got too much pain or you got diseases going on. You understand? So, first of all, it's expensive as hell, and it comes down to profits for them. You think they're going to say, oh, no, Mel Carmine's here. Let's use olive oil from Sicily. Fuck Mel Carmine and fuck Amber. They're going to use the worst shit because at the end of the day, they need to make profits. That's what it comes down to, guys. And so we eat at home. We cook at home. I'm a great cook. My wife is a great cook. Yesterday I made, because I don't know, don't ask me why, but ever since I came out of the hospital, I have a craving for ice still. It was the injection, the anesthesia, and they give you a little that stuff that comes from Mexico. I can't think of the name of it. It's a really bad drug. If you do a little bit too much, it can kill you. It will come to me probably. Maybe you guys can write it down below. But it's that drug that keeps getting imported from China through Mexico. But anyway, let's go to this one here real quick. All right, let's redo this. I like this one too. I think you'll agree with this one as well. There's like 4 more, so just hang in there. There's 4 more besides this one. Hang in there. This is worth it.
These chicks, the best one in the group, I pick up a group of these chicks. The best one in the group is like a 4 out of 10. The rest of them 2s and 3s. And they're all going off how they deserve this fantasy guy. 6'3", 250K annual, athletic body. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, wow, they really believe that. Then it hit me. Social media has them completely brainwashed because all they have to do is jump on there and manipulate their appearance with these angles, filters, and lightings and have unlimited weak men in their DMs telling them how beautiful they are, sending them money, flying them out. And in their mind, they believe that they deserve this fairy tale kind of guy where they can just design and create this man with these perfect key attributes like an avatar in a video game. In 2025, 3 is the new 10.
How can you disagree? I mean, look, do you ever see some of these women that he's talking about? They bring absolutely nothing to the table. Let me see what happened here. Stop sharing. Okay. They bring nothing. Some of these women look like hell at 63. And if I was single, I would not touch them. You go figure. All right. I'm pretty selective. I'm like Donald Trump in many ways. He's very, very selective who he jumped in the sack with. He's a germaphobe. That's why when that story came out that Russian hookers were peeing on him, it blew my mind because I knew enough about him. He has people going to the bathroom with him and he doesn't want to touch the handle. If he does, it's with a piece of paper. And then he throws a piece of paper away and he's holding the door with his foot. Do you understand? You get it? Hello? I'm trying to tell you something. Okay? They lied. They lied. It's amazing. Now we're going to skip this one. This one's good. All right, here we go.
Six years later, saying, who the fuck do you think you were for doing that? It is a total disgrace what you did to this country. And if my Democrat colleagues are standing there defending you, I hope the voters of the United States of America watch the clips of every one of you doting on a guy who was more interested in being a celebrity than saving American people. Here I am sitting in front of you 6 years later saying, who the fuck do you think you were for doing that? It is a total disgrace what you did to this country. And if my Democrat colleagues are standing there defending you, I hope the voters of the United States of America watch the clips of every one of you doting on a guy who was more interested in being
Okay. I mean, hey, listen, he did it during the AIDS pandemic too. Go do your homework. Okay? Go do your homework. Please. This guy's going to make Stalin and Hitler look like an altar boy. Unbelievable. Let's cue this up. And you got one more after this one. And then we're going to wrap this baby up.
Everybody's asking me, if there was no virus, then how did everybody die? And the truth is, they were murdered in the hospitals. That's right. They were fucking murdered
Allegedly.
in the hospitals.
I have to say
Nobody
that.
died from COVID
Allegedly.
outside the hospital, only inside. So they turned up the radiation. They made everybody sick.
Allegedly.
Everybody then ran out and got tested. The tests were all
Allegedly.
rigged to give off false positives. So everybody thought they had COVID. Meanwhile, nobody had nothing. The people with the weaker immune systems, the older folk, ended up in the hospital. Once they were in the hospital, they were intentionally given bad medication that made them worse, to the point they had to get put on a ventilator, and then the ventilator fucking killed them. And that's what they did. They fucking murdered everybody in the hospitals. Your grandparents, your friends, your family, they were fucking murdered by these fucking cunt motherfuckers. This cunt motherfucker right here, and all these fucking cunt motherfuckers, they're all in on it. It's a one world government. The whole world got bent over and fucked right up its ass by these fucking cunt motherfuckers.
I think that pretty much explains it. I don't think you could use any other kind of language to really describe. I think that guy's spot on. I know there's a lot of people saying, oh, they're just, are you kidding me? They killed your daughter. They killed your son. They killed your grandfather, your grandmother, your mother, your father, your next door neighbor. And you want to be nice? The word fuck becomes the most amazing word. Sorry, that's just the way I feel. Let's watch the last video with Mr. T.
$1 million is a lot of money. And I think $1 million is a lot of money.
No, you don't.
No, I don't, actually. But the fact is that $1 million, it's a lot of money for somebody.
The woman's been with you 6 years. She's been, as you said, incredibly loyal. You're finally going to get married. You have a child. Give her the $25 million.
Well, I guess I look at everything like a deal. I mean, I built this empire. And I did it by myself. Nobody did it for me. Not Ivana, not Marla, nobody. And I think that because somebody marries somebody that built something huge, doesn't necessarily mean that just because they get a divorce that they should end up, like the Queen of Sheba. And
I think, personally speaking, I think all of you will probably agree with me in what I'm about to say. I think Donald Trump should follow his own advice and pass a law. Listen, there are women, not as many. For every successful entrepreneur that's a man, there's 100,000 of us to every one of them, meaning women. But some women out there are very, very good entrepreneurs. And they get divorced and they got to give half to some fucking loser who brings nothing to the table. It's wrong both ways. But women do it to men a lot more because there's more successful men than there is women. The rules are the same for everybody else. Anybody can come in. No one is going to stop you from becoming an entrepreneur. No one is going to come and put a gun to your head and say, no, you're a woman. You're not allowed to make, $8 million a day. You can, and you should if you have the opportunity. The bottom line is he's right. Somebody comes to the table. Amber and I are the perfect American story. I went to Costa Rica I had $38,000 in the bank. True story. That's all I had. That was all. I made a lot of money. I blew my money. I had fun. I had incredible fun. I love to party. I love to hang out. I love to stay in expensive hotels, and I love to eat expensive dinners. I like to travel first class. I like to do everything. My wife calls me Mr. Luxurious, just to give you an idea. And when I got to Costa Rica, I had a great business that we were just starting together. We were starting to make really good money. And so it prompted us to move to Costa Rica. But the reality is we made our money together. If nothing's ever going to happen with Amber and I, we have an incredible, amazing, like fairy tale relationship. But if something was to happen, she's entitled to half because she helped me build everything. She's entitled to half. I'm saying it here for the record, but that's never going to happen. You know why? Till death do us apart. That's very real in an Italian marriage. Okay. Do we have our moments? Do we have our, absolutely. Every couple does. We're not immune to that. But for the most part, it's been wonderful. Is it challenging right now with the extra New World Order bullshit and the fact that they're trying to bring in Muslims to take over your cities and your kids? Yes. I don't have any kids yet. At the right time, I will. I got my finger on the pulse with people overseas that have technology that's going to allow us to live beyond, way beyond 200, 250, and it's here now. Not maybe. We're going to have a workshop about this at the Quantum Summit 1776.com. Quantum Summit 1776.com. In the next couple of weeks, you'll start to see information about it. And I will tell you in no uncertain terms, it's not going to be a lot of speakers. It's going to be like a group that's going to talk about XRP for maybe 3-4 hours. We're going to take a couple of breaks in between. We're going to do lunch, take an hour and a half, come back and do another panel with a bunch of people that talk about longevity. People are coming from Far East Asia, etc. We got people that are coming here from Florida. We're going to do some things that are going to be absolutely. And when we introduce you what we have, with the proof, with the science, with everything, and then we're going to bring in Cobus to teach you, while the price is still at $1.06 for an XRP, which you're crazy not to buy some. As a matter of fact, if you need to buy some, 786-704-8817, 786-704-8817 for business only. XRP, 10,000 is the minimum, and the sky is the limit, okay? 10,000 is the minimum. There's no negotiations there. Silver, same number, 786-704-8817, 50,000 or more, okay? And, but we can get you as much silver as you want as well. So anyway, needless to say, you'd be crazy not to buy silver right now. It's like, $58, $60, whatever it is. Do I believe it's going to go to 500, 1,000? Absolutely. When? I don't know. I'm not going to tell you, oh yeah, next Wednesday at 3:00, it's going to, no, I don't do dates. You know that. So, but anyway, needless to say, I hope you enjoyed today's show. That's what I scroll for. That's what I want. I don't watch people in bikinis dancing and drinking and carrying on and all the bullshit. I don't do that. All right, folks, have a good one. Don't forget, Quantum Summit 1776, the Junior Quantum Summit is coming. We don't have a price tag yet. We don't know what it's going to cost, but some of these people are not cheap to bring in. Okay. And so that's going to be reflected in the price. I don't know if it's going to include food, not include food, or whatever. We'll figure it all out. And it's just literally in the planning stages right now. We'll talk to you all soon, and we'll catch you on the next one.